Good afternoon, committee. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Kerry Charsoff. A lot of concern about this soccer proposal for Prairieland Park. A lot of people think that it's a city enterprise, when in fact it's not. It's as per the CEO's own mention, it's a for-profit, not-for-profit corporation. It's a private corporation, in fact. They don't disclose all their financial information, and we don't know what their top executives are even paid. They have a membership, and you may not always be given membership, so you can make application, but they decide through a committee whether they're going to let you in or not. So it's not open to the general public. So just because they happen to reside on city land, that's where it stops. Prairieland Park goes off their site and competes with tax-paying businesses in our city right now. They've been allowed to do a lot of things that they shouldn't have been allowed to this point. They've received many, many millions of dollars of ag funding, which will be gone soon because if you notice, they're going to take away all the barns, but also even the pens for the ag center are going to be gone because that's where the parking lot's going to be for their new soccer center. So all of that investment in agriculture is out the door because it suits somebody else's purpose, like the World Trade Center. We have this whole thing about money. How much money is it going to take? Well, this is free land, $100 a year for the whole site. They pay no income tax, they pay no property tax. And even still, they can't fund their own way. But the greatest thing that comes out of all of this is gambling. The biggest lucrative business in all of this is not the soccer itself, it's the gambling for it. I don't think it's accidental that all of this is just being released now that the province has approved sports gambling, and soccer will be a lucrative part of that. So what are we going to do about that? Where is the best location for this? There's no mass transit to there. There's going to be some bus service, but there's no BRT plan for there because that's not part of our long-term growth plan. So as it previously discussed, the soccer team was proposed to go in the downtown core. Why isn't it being done in the North City Works Yard? Or even better, why not up at the university? Since we want to develop elite athletes, why not incorporate that with the universities? So rugby teams and cricket and soccer teams at the university level are derived right from the university's own grounds, where the students live, where the greatest concentration of students will be in our future, and where the BRT will have two lines crisscrossing that area to suit it. When it comes to amusement tax, it's very interesting that Prairieland Park claims that they're giving all this money to the city. That's a lie. First, they don't get this money except that they're required to record it. That's it. They're not paying anything out of their own pocket. And the city gives it back to them as a grant. So all this money that they claim they're benefiting the city by putting money into the tax roll is a complete fabrication because it's not taking place. For you councillors that are paid private members of this club, I would urge you not to be voting for anything to spend taxpayer money on this enterprise because you are a paid member of this and you get benefit for that membership. Free entrance into things, lots of special little gimmies, don't you? And I think you should take that seriously because as a taxpayer, I do. And you should be able to separate yourself from your paid membership into this club as opposed to voting for something that'll really lucratively help this club. Because this club's interests aren't necessarily in the best interest of the city. And they're definitely not in the best interest of agriculture, are they? When they had their racing last year and this year with Manitoba Racers, just so they could keep their gambling rights to avoid paying Saskatchewan agriculture, it's got to set up for where things are really at with Prairieland Park. And when we know the actual salary of Mark Regier and people like that and all their benefits, then we'll start talking. But until then, none of this is taking place because they don't want to disclose all these things because they're private. Well, stay private. And let's have our soccer field and any rugby pitch and everything else that we're going to have someplace where the city can control it. Because if there's taxpayer money going into it, it shouldn't be for this profitable corporation. And this team is going to be for profit. This is a professional sports team. The status of them isn't amateur and it's not for volunteers and it's not open to the public. It is a for-profit commercial venture. And that falls outside of ag zoning, doesn't it? It's not permitted and it is not discretionary, which makes it prohibited by your own examples. So I wish you would take this seriously. It's time to be looking at better options for a soccer pitch in Saskatoon if that's where we want to go. Thank you very much.